What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Celtic Clydesdale show. I'm Jim and I am the Celtic Clydesdale. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing some bone conducting headphones from the Aftershokz company. The model in question is going to be the Trekz Titanium. Now, I will point out this, if you go to the Aftershokz website, you're not going to find this model. It's actually out of production, but I will discuss the current model, which is the Aftershokz Air. All right, it's the equivalent model that I was able to find on their website. And we'll discuss the tech specs for this particular pair and some of the difference that I was able to find for the newer version. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the disclaimer part of the video. All right. Aftershokz has nothing to do with this video. They did not give me these headphones. They aren't sponsoring the video. They don't get to see the video during production. They don't even know I'm making the video, all right? So there's no influence from Aftershokz on my opinion of these headphones, all right? Now, as far as how I did get them, I did not buy them. They were actually given to me as a gift from the owner of the Wild Pair Running Company down in Pearland, Texas. Anyway, they also sent me this awesome shirt. So yeah, if you want to check them out, if you happen to live down in Pearland, Texas, which I think is somewhere near Dallas, go ahead, look them up, go check them out. Buy some running shoes from them, or a hydration belt. I don't know, but yeah, check them out if you want to. So without further ado, let's get into the product review. All right, first of all, let's talk about where to get these. You can get this particular model, the Trekz Titanium, on Amazon. It will set you back about $80, but I haven't been able to find anywhere else where they're available for purchase. All right, there might be some websites out there that still have a supply of these, but I wasn't able to find any. The best bet was Amazon at $80. As for the newer version, which is the Aftershokz Air, which actually I think will pretty much identical to these, you can get those on the aftershokz.com website. That's Aftershokz, where Shokz is S-H-O-K-Z. And you could get these on there, the new, or not these, but the Air, for about 120. You'll also find the Air on Amazon for 120. So I wasn't able to find a whole lot of differences between the two, so I'm not sure why the Air costs more, other than the fact that they said it was 20% lighter. Beyond that, I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and move on, discuss the fit and feel of these headphones. All right, fit and feel. First off, we'll discuss how much they weigh. As you can see right here, we're looking at about 37 grams or 1.3 ounces, depending on which measurement system you buy into. But they're pretty light. For me, they don't really make a huge difference in weight. As for the fit, when you put them on, they're going to sit just forward of your tragus, just like this, and that's how they do their bone conducting on your cheekbones. All right. For me, because I got a big noggin, when I go out running and I do something where there's a lot, I'm bouncing up and down a lot, they tend to move around and they shift quite a bit. They don't want to stay put quite as well as I would want them to. All right, and what happens, especially when I'm running, especially like I said, when I'm quite a ways into a run, a lot of vertical oscillations, and I'm sweaty, they tend to slide around. And what happens is they'll bounce around, and it sounds like the sound is pulsating, and it's kind of annoying. So I end up shifting around until they stop doing that. And sometimes I probably give up a little bit of sound quality in the process, but I'd rather give up a little bit of sound quality than hear that pulsating thing. But that's just me. If you've got a smaller head, they do have an option. I don't know how small a head you'd have to have for it, but they have an attachment that brings it in a little bit tighter, so it'll sit more snugly against smaller heads. As for something for, you know, to make them sit like they're supposed to on bigger heads, I don't know. You're probably just up a creek, but you know, that's my opinion on these. It's my experience on these as far as the fit and feel. But I'll say this much: once they are on, I mean, I've done yard work, you know, for 4 or 5 hours at a time, wearing these pretty much the whole time, and you know, they're pretty comfortable. So, hey, I think, you know, they're intended for runners and cyclists and whatnot, but in my experience, not so great for the running. They do pretty well for the cycling, but they're really well suited for doing yard work. So yeah, they're comfortable when they're sitting the way they're supposed to, but I wouldn't call them uncomfortable when they start shifting around. It's just that the sound that you hear from them is quite annoying. All right, so that's the fit and feel of these. So let's go ahead and move on and discuss the tech specs. All right, technical specs. For these, for waterproofing, you're looking at IP55 water resistance. Whew. A lot of words. But anyway, so what you're looking at with the IP55 water resistance rating is they're sweat resistant. You know, you won't have any problems with sweat getting in these, messing up or anything like that. And they're rain resistant, all right? Now, I don't know the limit of how much rain will mess these up. I tell you, I've been out in some, you know, light rain squalls where, you know, it wasn't raining too heavy and they didn't mess up. I've been out in some rain where it's just a really super fine mist and no issues, and I've been in some relatively heavy rains and again didn't have any issues. So now what you can't do in these, you can't go swimming in them. So I mean, maybe if you want to jump in the water at the beach, keep your head above the water, should be fine with the spray and whatnot. But I wouldn't submerge these while you're listening to them, or I wouldn't submerge them at all. All right, so yeah. For connectivity, they are Bluetooth 4.1. The newer version is Bluetooth 4.2. What's that mean to you? Well, I'm not really sure what the different versions of Bluetooth affect. Not really part of the discussion here on this channel, but I'm sure you can find a good YouTube channel to learn. All right, but for the most part, with these, you're looking at Bluetooth 4.1 or Bluetooth 4.2 for the newer model, and you're looking at about a 30-foot range on these. All right, so you can, like, if you're at the gym, you lay your phone down and do your set, or you know, whatnot, but you got about 30 feet that you could probably walk away before you lose signal. All right, you can connect these to multiple devices, which will come in handy if you're out for a run or whatever and you've got like a personal phone and a work phone. You can connect these to both phones. However, I will discuss call quality, man, it's so hard to say that, later on in the video. And yeah, so battery life, you're looking at about a 6-hour battery life, and that's continuous use. For standby, you know, I'm not sure what the time is, but I could tell you that I've taken these off the charger on a Monday morning, used them at work for a little while, and then brought them home, disconnected them from my phone, laid them on a table, not turned them off, picked them up, you know, a couple of times throughout the week and listened to them for some runs, and then picked them up, gone for a run on Friday morning, and they've still had a charge. All right, so yeah, they'll get you through quite a little bit of running. All right, and as for recharging these, they do come with a short micro USB charger that, you know, but there's no wall connection. You got to have a USB port of some sort to plug them into and then charge them up. So yeah, micro USB-C recharge and about a 6-hour continuous use battery life. So with all that, let's go ahead and discuss controls. All right, controls for these things. Well, I know at least for the Trekz Titanium, and probably the same holds true for the Air, there's only 3 buttons on here that control the functions. You've got on the left earpiece, you've got the button here with the Aftershokz logo that is called the multifunction button that we'll discuss in a second. And then on the left, or the correction, the right temple, you've got your USB charge port, micro USB charge port here, your plus button, which is your volume up button, and your minus button, which is your volume down button. Alright, so let's discuss these 2 volume buttons. Obviously, as I said, plus volume up, minus volume down. If you pause your music, you can hit the the volume up button, and it'll give you a battery check. It'll tell you basically, I think it says like high battery, medium battery, low battery. Alright, so it's basically a battery check. If you have your music playing and you push both of these at the same time, it'll cycle through one of, I believe, 3 EQ settings. Now, I've never played with that, so I'll be honest with you, can't talk about it too much. I just take it on the default setting and just live with it, alright? Now, if you're in a phone call while you're wearing these and you hit both buttons at the same time, it mutes the call. So you'll still hear what's going on in the call, but they won't hear you. Alright? So, yeah. Also, power button. If you've got them off or you just took them off the charger or whatnot, if you hold down the volume up button for 5 seconds, turns the device on. If you're using them and you're done with them, hold the same button down for 5 seconds, turns the device off. Alright, so yeah, the multifunction button. This one's pretty cool. One click will either pause or play your music. You know, obviously, pause your music if you're already listening to it. It'll play your music if you're not quite listening to it yet. It also will answer or hang up. So if you've got an incoming call, whether you're listening to music or not, and you hit this button one time, it'll answer the call. All right, and then when you're done with your call, you hit the button, it hangs up the call. All right, good deal. If you double tap it, you know, it will skip the song. There's no way to go backwards using these. All right. The last thing, if you press and hold this for 2 seconds, if you do it while there's a call incoming, it will reject the call. If you do it while you're you got to pause your music, and then, or I think actually you can do it while music is playing, but you press hold for 2 seconds, it will do voice dial. Now, I tried this earlier today, to be honest with you, and I don't know if you voice dial by actually saying the number you want to dial, or if you call out like a name in your contacts list. I can tell you that when I use it today, I held that and it said, you know, a voice dial, and then I said call the bride unit, and it didn't call the bride unit. I actually ended up just pulling my phone out, and I had to pull her up in my contacts and sent the phone call. But it does have voice dial out built in. Again, not really sure how it works. So yeah, those are the controls. So let's go ahead and start discussing important things like sound quality, Bluetooth signal quality, and call quality. All right. All right, let's talk about the sound quality for these. I will tell you that if you're wearing these the way they're designed to be worn, and if they're sitting the way they're meant to sit, you get some pretty decent sound out of these, and that's before you even mess with the EQ. Right out of the box, you put these on, hey, they're pretty nice. Now, I will tell you this: the earpieces in here, they have normal speakers in there. All right, so it's not a situation where you can only hear these through bone conduction. If you have these turned up too loud, the regular sound emanating from the speakers is going to drown out any sound around you, which defeats the purpose of having these to begin with. So as far as like your bone conduction working and you hearing the rest of the world, you got to keep the volume low. Otherwise, you may as well just have earbuds in. All right. the other thing there is if you've got them up pretty loud, other people around you are going to hear them. So like if you're at the gym and you got these things, you know, full tilt, you know, the guy on the bench machine right next to you, he's going to hear what music you're playing, all right? So he probably doesn't want to hear ABBA, all right? Just be warned. But anyway, they do have decent bass, and there's a reason for that. Most of the lower frequencies are vibrating your cheekbone really well, because the lower frequencies, they do tend to vibrate things quite well. And so the bass quality, pretty damn good, all right, in my opinion. Also, the clarity for your higher frequencies are pretty good, but most of those are actually coming from actually oral sound instead of just the vibrations through your cheekbones. All right, but overall, decent sound quality with, you know, a nice bit of bass and some fairly crisp highs, especially for some pretty small drivers. All right, so Bluetooth signal quality. I'm going to be honest with you. I question the signal quality on these quite often. I don't know if it's a function of the headphones themselves or if it's a function of my fairly old Samsung Galaxy S7 phone, or just the team up between the two. But I can tell you, when I'm out running, if I turn my head just the right way, you know, it's like the Bluetooth signal stops and my music skips, and you know, I may as well be running with the CD player on my hip. It's kind of annoying. And there's other times where, you know, I run with my phone in a little pouch, and I can actually put my hand over and effectively block the signal between my phone and these things, where the music just, you know, it cuts out. And you know, it's, to me, it's a bit annoying. But again, I can't say, you know, unequivocally that it's the headset, and not, you know, not my phone, or not just the pairing, you know, between the, you know, I don't know, maybe the Bluetooth level in these too advanced for my old phone. I don't know, but I will say that with my phone, I have some decent connection issues, particularly when I'm running. All right. Now, as for phone call quality when wearing these, in my opinion, it's not great at all. I've had people tell me that they have trouble hearing me with the microphones. They're supposed to have noise canceling microphones in each of the earpieces, which you're only supposed to pick up your own voice instead of, you know, sounds around you. But I can tell you, like I said, when I called my wife today, she had to ask me to repeat myself a couple of times. She was telling me that, you know, there's poor call quality, and I basically had to yell to get her to hear what I was saying. You know, I was almost ready to just disconnect them and just use the phone to say what I needed to say. But you know, the message was relayed. But in the end, call quality with these is not great at all. So I wouldn't particularly run around and try to, you know, if you're one of those business people that's always on the phone and using a Bluetooth headset all the time, I wouldn't use these to replace that Bluetooth headset. All right, so call quality, not so great. Bluetooth signal, questionable. Sound quality, pretty decent. All right, so let's go ahead and finish this up with my final thoughts. All right, final thoughts on the Aftershokz Trekz Titanium bone conducting headphones. Ultimately, I can't say that I would spend my money, particularly given the amount that these cost, on a set. If the set I have were to die, you know, I probably wouldn't miss them. I'm incredibly thankful that they were given to me as they were, and you know, I use them quite a bit. In fact, actually, right now, it's the only, you know, other than the headphones that I use when, you know, I'm processing videos, I don't have anything else. And you know, So when I go running, the only thing I have is these Trekz Titaniums, and I gotta say, I'd actually rather have something else, to be honest. But that's my opinion on them. I will say that, you know, given the facts that they've got, you know, the sound quality is not spectacular. It's decent, but it's not spectacular. The issues I have with the Bluetooth signal, particularly with my phone, again, I can't say conclusively that it's a problem with the Aftershokz headphones. I can't say it's a problem with my phone, or if it's just that the two don't communicate well. But for me, there's definite issues with Bluetooth connection that, you know, gets sketchy, particularly when I'm running, which, given the fact that, like I said, that's most of what I do with these things, you know, that's when I want them to be working their best, and they don't do that. And for call quality, I don't know. I've had $10 Bluetooth headsets that I've purchased, you know, at Walmart, that have had better call quality than these do, and that's just, I don't know, for a device that you can buy right now on Amazon for $80 to have this kind of call quality, I'm just not down with it. And if you were to get the newer version, which I mean, I don't know if the new version has fixed the call quality issues or what, but I mean, it starts at $120, so I can't, I don't know. It's just, for me, overall, like, you know, just fully encompassing, I give these headphones, you know, kind of a thumbs down. The concept of the bone conduction sound, and, you know, being able to hear the world around you when you got the volume set low enough, I don't really say low enough. You just, if you got the volume set at the right level, you hear your music and you hear the world around you, which from that aspect, hey, that's great. But all the other things going into it, it's not that great of the sound quality. You know, it's only decent. And the Bluetooth signal issues for me, and the call quality issues for me, overall, I give them a thumbs down. I wouldn't particularly recommend them. I would just, I don't know, if you really want to have music and hear the world around you, what I would suggest is, don't get a pair of earbuds that completely close off your ear canal. Listen to your music at lower levels so that it's not drowning out the sounds around you. Obviously, don't wear noise canceling earbuds, and, you know, or maybe even just wear one earbud at a time, and, you know, problem solved. And it'll probably be, you know, much easier on your bank account than these bone conducting headphones. But that's just my opinion on them. I know plenty of people swear by the things, but to be honest with you, I can't figure out why. So those are my final thoughts on these Trekz Titanium headphones, and we'll go ahead and close this thing out. Alright, in closing, if you're new to the channel, hey, do me a favor, please subscribe. If you're not so new to the channel but you haven't subscribed yet, hey, please subscribe. If you've liked the video that I've done today, give me that thumbs up. If you didn't like the video today, I suppose you could give me the thumbs down. I'd prefer you didn't. But yeah, if you like the video, subscribe, go ahead and ring the bell to get notified. I try to upload on Wednesdays, usually about 2:15. Sometimes the video doesn't actually get uploaded until early Wednesday morning, about 6 o'clock. So yeah, just Wednesdays I try to get my videos out. So yeah, on Wednesdays, keep watch for the video. Comments, please leave me some comments, you know, some suggestions on other topics to discuss in later videos, you know, some other products you'd like to see reviews of from the standpoint of a larger endurance athlete, or, you know, just interact with me, because I'll be honest with you, I'm having a great time doing this YouTube thing, but interacting with my viewers down in the comments is probably the best part of it. All right, so please leave comments, leave suggestions. If I use your suggestion, I'll give credit where credit's due, and I'll mention you in the video. And yeah, also, if you look down in the show notes, I still have my cash tag. If you'd like to help out with doing this, getting new products, please go ahead and shoot me a couple of dimes through my cash tag. I'd appreciate any little bit that you could send me, and I definitely give credit where credit's due from that aspect again. So if you help me purchase a product that I do a review on, mention your name on the video for that review. Also down there, I'm still running my fundraiser for the FC Cancer Foundation. All right, so if you'd like to help out, with early detection, education for cancer, and to help out the Dying to Live program that the FC Cancer Foundation has, I got my link down there. You could go ahead and donate. We're now out of time to get my beard dyed, unless I decide to do it again later on, which I might. The wife will appreciate that. But yeah, go ahead if you'd like to, help me out from a financial standpoint. Hit the cash tag. If you'd like to help out with some early detection, education for cancer, I got that link down there too. Anything helps, and everything is appreciated. So next week, come on back. We're going to be talking about a new pair of shoes that I just got. A particular company, caught wind that I kind of wasn't too nice about them on a previous video, and they've done a little something to kind of make up for it. So next week's video is going to be about a pair of shoes that I received, the On Running Cloud Flows. I haven't got much ride time in them, so the review is going to be more of a first look than an actual review. But come on back next week, check that out when we discuss the On Running Cloud Flow, a first look, if you will. So until then, like I always say, keep on keeping on.